taken with you in our Research Plus Practice series. We will continue from where we left last time. We started our discussion with resource-based view. We were trying to understand how a resource plays a critical role in determining a firm's position in the market. And we argued that when certain resources have qualities such as valuable, rare, inimitable, and non-substitutable, how that resource becomes critical in determining long-term sustainable advantage for a firm or an organization in the market. So today we will look at VRIO model.
If you are a strategy researcher or if you are a strategy leader, and if you want to look at what are the resources that I am currently holding and which are the resources which are critical for me to compete in the market, you can very well refer to this VRIO model, a simplistic chart but a very powerful chart shared by Rothamel in his 2013 book on strategic management. If you look at it, you pick up a resource and you run it across the flowchart. You start with the first step by arguing, is the resource valuable or not? Now, for example, if you are a factory, and if many factories in India now have outsourced their facilities management. So the housekeeping management, which was earlier a part of the factory setup, is today outsourced. One of the logic that decision makers share here is that, upkeep of the facilities or housekeeping is not really my strength. There are already many firms outside the boundary which are providing those services. The markets are very mature, and so I will outsource my facilities management. And in this case, facilities management does not emerge as a valuable resource on which many organizations would like to compete. However, if you were in the hospitality sector and running a luxury hotel, well, in that case, facilities management would be one of the key skills or differentiators that you might like to build upon. So look at how whether a resource plays a critical role in the final outcome of your product or not, and whether that resource is easily available outside the organization boundary or not to answer whether it is valuable or not. So if a resource is not valuable, then it is competitive disadvantage. However, if the resource is valuable, you can move to the next stage and question, is the resource rare or not? This is an important criteria. If the resource is rare, which means to say I have it, or organization A has it, but organization B may not have access to it, then this resource becomes a critical part of your tool set. And if you play your cards well, then you can build a sustainable competitive advantage. However, if the resource is not rare or it can be overcome in a short period of time, then you are only looking at short-term gains, and it is largely you are looking at competitive parity. If I have a resource and if my competition also has a resource and this resource might be valuable, then you're looking at sort of competitive parity. Think about the example I shared about services industry. Now there might be certain sections of human talent which are very, very specific, but if there is only about access to good quality engineers, if X organization has it and also Y organization can gain the same pool of students or same pool of talent, then you are looking for competitive parity. So if you move from valuable to rare and then to inimitable stage, essentially you are trying to understand whether the resource that you have, is it costly to imitate or not. So if the resource is not costly to imitate, essentially over a period of time, your competition will build a similar resource, and what you are looking for is only a short period of competitive advantage. You go and look at pharmaceutical industry, typically that is how it happens. An organization will file a patent, and till the other organizations are able to come up with newer or different patents, it will enjoy temporary advantage. Once the patent's protection is gone, you go back and the advantage is lost. And finally, if you cross these three steps, you come to the fourth step, which talks about your ability to organize the resources. So your resource might be valuable, it might be rare, and it might be even difficult to imitate. But if you are not able to organize them well, then you are actually losing out on an opportunity to gain sustainable competitive advantage.
So that was the VRIO model, a very simplistic but a very powerful model as I shared earlier with you. The power of this model lies in the fact that it gives you a very strong approach to analyzing your own resource mix. And it also tells you when a particular resource has one quality but not the other qualities, what kind of outcome can you expect from that resource in determining your competitive advantage. So that's all from me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you again. If you have any thoughts, any comments or feedback, please feel free to write to me. Shashwat and I will be very glad to take your views and incorporating our upcoming videos, and we look forward to having you again. This is Research Plus Practice Video 2 and many more to come. Thank you.